Yo, people, we saying it's your boy Muzi 13. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. We are back. Tottenham Hotspur versus Arsenal. The North London Derby is here. And let's get right into it. I always give you guys some preview notes before, so I'm going to do that. 28th match day in the Premier League. Arsenal played 42 matches this season, all competitions. In those games, we've won 32, drawn 7, lost 3. In the Premier League, though, 17 wins, 7 draws, 3 losses. 58 points and plus 32 goal difference, most in the league. We're currently on pace for 82 points, 2.15 points per game right now. We're 5 points clear at the top of the league, although City have a game in hand. So you could say 2 points, but I'm just going based off what the table is saying right now. Arsenal beat Spurs in the corresponding fixture earlier this season at the Emirates. Beat them 4-1 in the reverse fixture. Eze got a hat trick in that game. It was his coming out party for Arsenal. But Arsenal have been in some poor form recently in the Premier League. In the last 7 games in the Premier League, Arsenal have won 2, drawn 4, and lost 1. Absolutely shocking. So Arsenal are going to be looking to bounce back in the Premier League as their form has dropped off, especially after that shocking 2-2 draw against Wolves. An Arsenal win could see us maintain our lead at the top to 5 points, with City still having their game in hand should Arsenal and City both win this weekend. Obviously, I'm going to be hoping City drop points against Newcastle, because if they do and we win, it kind of works in our favor. It's so funny because, yeah, long shot, I know, but I'm a fan. What am I supposed to do? If City drop points against Newcastle, like they draw, for example, and then we win, we kind of would have gained ground on City, because technically we had 4 points lead on them, but technically everyone's saying it's 2 points if they win their game in hand. But if they draw against Newcastle, that'll be 4 points. Yeah, it'll be 4 points, and then if we win, it'll be 7 points. So it would go back up to 4 points. But that's a long shot. I still think they're gonna win their game in hand. But after this game, there's gonna be 10 more games in the league. So Arsenal really need to win. So all that talking is out the way, the pre-match notes, all that good stuff. But yeah, Arsenal have to win this game. This goes as far as to say as if Arsenal don't win this game against Spurs on Sunday, for me, the title race is done. The title race is done because of what we've done so far in our last 7 games. The form is shocking. 2 wins, 4 draws, 1 loss. That is terrible, terrible form. So Arsenal have to bounce back, man. Spurs are not in great shape. They're currently 17th, 17th on the table. I think maybe 4 points above the relegation zone. They've been really bad. They sacked Thomas Frank. Igor Tudor has come in, taken over as the interim until the end of the season. They're missing a shitload of players. Kudus, Kulusevski, Madison. The list goes on. Like, they're missing a lot of key players. So we don't have any excuse. Our players apparently should be back for this game. Odegaard apparently should be back for this game. Havertz is in contention. Saka just went off with a cramp, so he's probably going to start this game. Yeah, I don't really... Obviously, apart from the long-term injury of Marino, where he's out pretty much till the end of the season, or close to the end of the season, we're not really missing anyone. So I'm not hearing no excuses. We've beaten Tottenham multiple times. I think the last time Tottenham actually beat us was back to that season where we were chasing top 4 and they beat us 3-0. I think that was the 21-22 season, so back in 2022. Yeah, so it's been a long time, man. We have a very good record at their stadium, so I'm expecting the boys to bounce back. Saka, you signed that new contract now. This is your time to shine. You've got to take, and that's why I put you in the cover pictures today. You've got to take us to the finish line, the promised land, bro. 300K a week, that kind of wage is given to the big boys. And yeah, you're the best attacker at Arsenal, but I'm really need you to step up in these last 10, 11 games. Go on a good goal scoring run. Get something between 7 to 10 goals in the Premier League and really drive this team home, because I know you have the capability of it. And if you guys lock in, we can really, kickstart our season again. So we beat Spurs, hopefully, and then we can go on to the Chelsea game next weekend. But that Chelsea game becomes null and void if we don't beat Spurs. We simply have to beat Spurs. We got to put the wrongs of the previous few games in the Premier League, we got to turn that wrongs to right. And I'm liking what the players are saying. They've had a conversation with themselves. Declan Rice has come out and said they had a conversation with themselves after the Wolves game, and, kind of just to reaffirm their beliefs of, what's been a positive season so far. We don't want that shit to go to waste, because you can't guarantee that you're going to be here next season. We saw in the 23-24 season when we lost the league by 2 points. The next season, we're thinking, we go again. What happened? We got so many injuries that killed the title race before it started. So there's nothing that can guarantee that, you fumble this. What's to say you're going to be in a title race next season? What's to say you can win the next season? Teams are going to get stronger. Chelsea, Manchester United, Liverpool, they're going to strengthen the summer. They're going to go again. So we can't keep saying, oh, next year is the year. This has to be the year. And I'm still positive that it could be the year still. I think if we beat Spurs and beat Chelsea, we're back on track. But it starts off with this game against Spurs. We have to win this game. It's going to be interesting to see what Arteta does with the lineup. I did a predicted lineup video. Y'all can check that out on my page. But I think Saka, while he had a good performance-ish in the 10 against Wolves, I like to see him back on the right wing simply because Madueke isn't productive enough for me to want to play Saka in the 10 and Madueke on the right wing. If we had a proper like crazy right wing. Say for example we had like an Umbermo or a Semenyo who can play on the right. Then I'd be fine keeping Saka in the 10. I still do want to see Saka in the 10 like in some other games. I just don't think this game is the one for it. I need to see him on the right wing, taking on the Spurs fullbacks. They have a lot of injuries. I think maybe Jet Spence might be playing there. Dogi's out for a few weeks as well. Ben Davies, the rest. So Saka on the right wing, be productive, take the game to them. And not just Saka. Everyone else has to rise. Victor Gyökeres, you got to step up, brother. I'm not even asking you for that much. I'm just asking for five goals in the Premier League in the last 10, 11 games. That could be enough to win us this league. That's all I'm asking you for. Five goals, brother. I'm not even saying 10. 5 to 7 goals, you give me that, bro, I'm happy because I think that will help us win the league. So, yeah, Arsenal, back to winning ways. Hopefully, you get the job done against Spurs, and hopefully Newcastle can hold City to something. And yeah, we keep it moving. But after this game, it's going to be 10 games left, and that's when the title race starts for me. Those games leading to Man City, we have to win every single game now because we've left ourselves no room for slip ups. We have to win those games and then hopefully go into that City game with at least the points gap we have right now, which technically is 2 points because City haven't played a game in hand. But we need to have at least that 2 point gap against City going to the Etihad game. Ideally more. I feel like if we can go into that City game with a 4 or 5 point lead ahead of them and we play that City game, I think that could help us win the league. Although I still think we still have to make sure we come out of that game with minimum of a point. Low-key might even have to win that game, but minimum has to be a point in that game. But that's still ahead. That's still 5, 6 games down the line. We still have the Carabao Cup final game before we play that. But Arsenal, rise and shine. You've got to do it against Spurs, and I think we will. It's going to be a close game, even though they're missing a lot of players. And North London derby is always going to be tough, especially at their home. We never really smoked them at their home. At the Emirates, yeah, we beat them 4-1. But away from home, I'm going to go for a 2-1 Arsenal win. Fingers crossed, boys. Do not let me down. You've ruined my last few weeks. Please don't ruin my weekend. It's been your boy Moisey13. I'm out. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Be out. Peace.